Welcome into another episode of Two Sides with Shawty Coach. He's Shawty. I'm Coach I. What's good, Shawty, man? How you feeling on this nice Sunday evening, man?
Very, very well, man. Happy Easter to you, man, and everybody out there.
Happy Resurrection Sunday to you and everybody out there tuning in, man. We appreciate y'all tuning in, giving up y'all couple of, just a little bit of time on your Sunday night, man. We're gonna get into it, man. But let's just start out with some little light stuff. We was talking a little bit off camera. For those of y'all out there watching, I'm pretty sure if you're not even if you're not a basketball fan, you've been keeping up with March Madness. If nothing else, the names themselves. Shout out on the men's side to NC State for beating Duke tonight or earlier today. UConn handling business. It's getting crazy out there. Purdue, their big man had a little bit of something to say. And I'll be honest with you, dog, I don't even know who the other fourth team is. I'm just going to keep it real with you. Let me look it up.
Ain't Bama still in it?
Alabama plays UConn. NC State plays Purdue. That's your men's Final Four. I didn't know. I forgot all about, man, because I've been focusing on the women's game, dog. The women's game, you got South Carolina beating Oregon State today. So they go on to play. Let's see who they're gonna play.
The women's game definitely has the star power this year, man.
Right, NC State. Shout out to NC State for men's and women's making it to the Final Four, dog. I think the last time that happened, it was UConn. On the other side, we're waiting on two games. We're waiting on USC versus UConn. That's Juju versus Page, and we're waiting on LSU, Iowa. We're talking about Caitlin and Angel Reese. Now, you asked me, did I think this could be that LSU Iowa game, the most watched women's basketball game of all time? What you think? What you think?
I think it definitely has the potential. And the reason I say that is because, the reason I really say that is because not only are the two teams great, but it's somewhat of a built-in rivalry, like a love-hate kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And these are two of the most polarizing players coming back to play each other again.
Right. I think with these two players here, Reese and Clark, you either love them or you hate them. Like they are the villains in in some people's eyes, and they're the hero in some people's eyes. I mean, you just had Reese tell a assistant coach, watch your mouth. After the game, man. It's crazy. It could be, man. But let's go ahead and Hey, it's gonna be great for ratings, dog. I'm gonna be tuned in when I get. We ain't got practice tomorrow, so I'll be tuned in from the start to finish. Who you picking in that game aside from the Rangers?
I'm off tomorrow, so I'm talking about between LSU and Iowa.
And Iowa, yeah. Who you taking?
LSU.
I'm gonna go with LSU too, man. I feel like they starting five is better than Iowa starting five. Neither team goes really deep. I'm gonna give that to them. Over in the UConn versus USC, Page versus Juju. Who you got in that?
It's hard to go against Juju, especially when she get 30 shot attempts.
I think it's gonna go down to the wire. I'm rolling Team Beckers. I'm rolling Team Beckers, man. I feel like Juju's the next coming. And I feel like, but currently, I just feel like Paige is the best women's player in college basketball. That's just my personal opinion, man. So, what about the?
And that's fair to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think we know where we all going on the other side with that Final Four already being locked up between NC State and South Carolina. You going with the Gamecocks, right?
Oh, for sure. I think anything else would be uncivilized.
Big facts. All right, man. We're gonna shout out some of our viewers, man, and go ahead and play this little background music. Hey, man, let y'all get settled in before we get started on this thing. And hey, man, whether you're having a cigar, a drink, chilling on the couch in the man cave, the she shed, whatever it is, just sit back and relax, and we'll get into this thing, man. Shout out to the first lady. Respect the Hedges, Shelby. What's going on, Shelby? I got John B. Clayton. What's going on, John? Happy Easter to you too, my guy. Appreciate you, fella.
R.I.P. to Luke Gossett Jr., man. Lost another legend.
That's right, man. R.I.P. to Luke Gossett Jr. If all my South Carolina Berea Bulldogs or anybody that played against Berea ladies basketball back in the day, R.I.P. to Grace Chestnut, man. Basketball coach at Berea, man. Shout out, he said that, oh yeah, it was Alabama. Jonathan Lewis, what's going on, Jonathan, my guy? Happy Easter to you, man. He says Roll Tide. That's right, hey, man. Final Four. Hey, first time in school history, man. First time in school history. So shout out. Shelby says she's going with Iowa in the Iowa LSU matchup, Shawty.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
She said she's going with UConn in that UConn USC. Shout out to Kate Hill. What's going on, Kate? Appreciate you tuning in. Official photographer of Respect the Hedges and of Kate Hill Photography. Y'all make sure y'all go check her out. Stat guy in the building. Lady Gamecocks punched the ticket to Cleveland. That's right. Stat guy. I think we all
know Stat guy too happy.
Well, you know, these things for Stat, man, it's kind of expected with women's basketball at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Well deserved, though. Well deserved.
Well deserved, man. Well deserved. Shout out
to put together a juggernaut.
Right, man. Right. Shout out to Coach Staley, man, for doing what she do, man, and getting these girls to play together, man.
Hey, Cole, let me ask you, do you think, I know, women's basketball, people like to say that they are, generations behind in men's basketball. But do you think there'll ever be a one and done for women's basketball? Because the game is improving at a dramatic, fast rate. You know what I mean? The skill and the talent.
I think they're gonna have to have more teams, more players, meaning more resources, funding, salaries before they start that. I'm not saying it can't ever happen, but I do think it's a ways away because I just don't think, like I say, at this point, you know what I'm saying, that's feasible considering the number of teams, because even when they draft, they have to, cut chicks that we thought was good. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you don't get drafted in like the first, I want to say half of the first round, you're not even guaranteed a spot or something like that. That got no more stuff than that. But I think it's a ways away. It could be, but it's a long way away. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Shelby.
I'm thinking the like dogs. Juju could be one and done.
No, yeah, she could be, but she won't be.
Right.
But yeah, shout out to Shelby getting in. The dogs are in the Final Four of the NIT for the first time since 1998. So shout out to the dogs taking on Seton Hall on Tuesday night. Stat guy says the WNBA isn't ready for that. You got the talent as freshmen that could make the jump. That's true. There's a couple of freshman girls that I feel like would be one and done if the rule was already in place. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got Juju, you got the girl from Texas, Booker. I mean, Hidalgo.
So they can't be one and done?
No,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think they still, when you go, I think they got to stay 3 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Talking about double standards.
Right. I know John say, I know Coach A needs help with the Lady Dogs and NIL money. True. We lost a lot from that last team. A lot of people, some people transferred and some people just ran out of eligibility, man. So, hey, it is what it is. The Dogs, hopefully they can, you know what I'm saying, get back on track and things of that nature. But until then, we just have to keep rocking with them, man, and support Coach Abe and the Lady Dogs. So, Shawty, we here tonight, man, to talk about what pretty much everybody on social media anyway has talked about once, if not more, in the past couple of weeks, and that is Sean P. Diddy Combs. Now, before we get to
missed a couple of names, but yeah.
Right. Hey, man, back in the day it was Puff Daddy, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he went from Puff Daddy to Puff to P. Diddy to Diddy. So
he Love or something now, ain't he? He Love, any name Love or something now? Yeah.
I can't keep up, dog. I can't keep up. So
For that album, you know, he dropped that album. You know, he called himself Love.
right. Okay. So he loved now. Okay, that's something. Hey, learn
Yeah.
something new every day, man. The more you know.
When you got that kind of money, I guess you can be whatever you want to be.
Right. So the question I had on the thumbnail, which a lot of y'all seen, we're gonna get to it. I'm gonna pose it, but then before we get to it, we're gonna talk about some of those allegations. The question is Diddy still in the playlist? Have we canceled Diddy on that level yet? Like, are we not listening to his music? Are we not listening to Bad Boy because of what's going on? So we'll say that part for after we talk about all the allegations and stuff. So think about that. So allegations. We all know about the Cassie allegations, which she made, made her allegations and then actually settled, within I want to say 48 hours of the allegation. So the ones right now is the sex trafficking made by Lil Rod, saying that there was some underage girls, on top of the things that Diddy made him do. And it's gotten as serious enough that the Homeland Security has raided his LA and Miami homes, Shawty.
Yeah, and they would say, man, you know, shit don't got real. You know?
But
and
no charges, though. No charges yet.
right. Well, you know how that go, you know. Listen, man, this is what I'm gonna say right here. We kind of talked about this a little bit on my show. Listen, when them alphabet boys, you know, DHS, FBI, GBI, them kind of people start coming, man, like, you know, it's a pretty much a slam dunk. You know, and I think the first lady put out a statement. You know, the federal government, they have a 99.5% conviction rate, so they don't waste their time and resources for nothing. Because listen, they don't already use the resources. That's why they do. They've been using the resources for a while.
Well, John
Yeah,
says
This,
Cat
this,
Williams
this
opened.
ain't nothing new.
Right, Cat Williams opened the floodgates, and everyone in the industry is going down. He did. It did seem like he kind of started it. I mean, I think we all listen, man. For years now, I think we all knew some freaky stuff was going on at these Diddy parties and things of that nature. We just didn't know the extent of what all was going on. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, coach, I'm gonna say this too here. I'm gonna be honest with you. You're gonna have to give the federal government more respect than that. Trust me, they've been looking into this way before Cat Williams had
Oh
this interview.
no, I
Just
didn't
trust
say that. I
me.
said that's
No.
what
I'm
John
just
said.
speaking in general. I know you didn't say it.
Right.
You reading the comment. I know. I'm just responding. It wasn't no, you know, direct. No, I'm just saying in general. Yeah, like I say, when those guys come, man, you know, this has been years in the making, man. You know, like years in the making.
It's gonna be interesting to see what he can prove because Luther Campbell, no, otherwise known as Uncle Luke, has a different take on it. He says it's not that it's not about the sex trafficking, but a lot of this stuff is coming about because Diddy's rebellion against big time corporations such as Ciroc and De Leon. You know what I'm saying? And he was saying when you make those kind of deals, he said the same thing about Kanye. When you make those kind of deals with those kind of powerful, groups or whatever, then they know so much about you already. You know what I'm saying? That they can release a lot of this stuff to kind of discredit you, just in case you're thinking about, taking them to court. Because I heard, Puff wasn't too pleased with the whole, Ciroc situation and was trying to, be bad boy against Ciroc. And Ciroc was like, we bad boy around here. So that's Uncle Luke said that's what's going on. He said that's where all this stem from.
So listen, that's why, you know, and I would pose this question to anybody in the comments. You can give me your opinion on this as well. That's why a lot of people saying the raid was not so much about them trying to find evidence against him. They was trying to get the evidence against powerful people, so he couldn't be using it to stay safe. They were like, that's how this kind of works. They put them folks on you. They come to get the evidence, so they ain't got to clear themselves up, so you can't be using it against them. You see what I'm saying?
Shout out to JV. Respect the his brethren. What's going on? Appreciate you tuning in, Jay. Stat guy says former Syracuse Orange Brendan Paul, being his drug mule, got caught trying to get on a Diddy plane in Miami. Listen, man, Diddy got apparently a long reach out here. You know what I'm saying? And he, just like Epstein had that lady, I forget what her name was. She's doing jail time now. They saying Lil Rod is saying Diddy had somebody similar. What is Kristen something something? I don't know what her name is, but she's like making sure all the workers.
The lady at the music thing.
Right. So the thing is, it got serious when Lil Rod said it was some girls underage in there. That's when it really got serious. You know what I'm saying? I get the drugs is serious enough, but when you start talking about underage people.
But I tell you what, it was before that. The girl, I'm saying it was before that. I don't know if you know, like the girl, I don't want to call her girl, the young lady now who they're talking about, she had already, when she was young, when they put her on the plane and flew across state lines, she had already started. That's when the flood gate really kind of flooded open with the sex trafficking. Because this happened like months ago, maybe 6 months ago.
I got you.
When she came out herself, and her name is redacted in the actual. I don't know if you want to call it the silver suit letter or the affidavit or whatever. Her name is redacted in there.
Right. There's I watched I want to say Godfrey the comedian. They read some of the report or investigation, whatever you want to call it, with the redacted names. There was a couple of names in there. You would assume you know who they are because it says a Philadelphia rapper who used to be in a relationship with Nicki Minaj, but they got his name redacted. So you assume he means Meek Mill. And then they talked about somebody that performed in the Super Bowl and also had a very successful Vegas residency. So you would have to. They called him an R&B singer. So there's a lot of people in these.
Hey, Coach.
Allegedly.
Now you talking about a ruckus? Now is less. Is he counsel allegedly? If he in it now, you know they just spent everyone I know just flew out there to see them.
Listen, man, that's
you know what I'm saying.
Listen, we go.
Well, I forgot. We're gonna talk about cancellation later.
We about that's you. Hey, good segue because we're gonna start at the top of the pyramid. At least what we think is the top of the pyramid. And I got some thoughts on that too. So the top of the pyramid right now is what we think is Diddy. Is Diddy canceled? Is Diddy, with what we know so far, again, no charges have been brought. All of these things are allegations. Whether you believe they're true or not is not the question. Is Diddy canceled? And is Diddy and / Bad Boy music still in your playlist, Shawty?
I'm gonna say yes. And you know, this situation is a little bit different for me because first of all, I don't really listen to just a lot of per se Diddy music itself. You know what I'm saying? I listen to his artist music. It's almost like asking me.
That's why I phrased it Diddy and Bad Boy music, because he's responsible for that music.
Right. So I'm just saying that's almost like, to your point, I'm just explaining my situation. It's almost asking me like, if something bad come out about Disney, do I now no longer watch ABC, ESPN, you know, all the thing that Disney own? You know what I'm saying? So for that reason, it's a little bit more difficult. And I'm gonna say right now, you know, I see some of the women in the comment, man. I thought you was, you know what I'm saying, innocent until proven guilty. The man ain't been charged yet, so I'm gonna hold my opinion because he hasn't been charged yet. These are allegations. You know, we've been hearing them for a long time, but here we held off for R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? Why not did it too?
Right. So okay, everybody, all the viewers watching, whether Facebook or whether YouTube, are you still rocking Diddy / let's just say the Bad Boy stuff that Diddy appears on? We can just go say, I guess that is, Shawty makes a good point, you know, with the ABC, ESPN, Disney reference. So the stuff that Diddy appears on now, he has a lot of cameos on some of his stuff, whether it be 112 or Biggie or Faith or Mary J. Blige or
I still listen to R. Kelly.
So are you guys
I can
canceling
separate
Diddy?
the two.
Oh, let's see. Shelby says 112 is still in the rotation on Apple Play. Now, Shelby, let me ask you in retort to that. If Diddy's found guilty of all of these things that they're accusing him of, will 112 and Bad Boy still be in the rotation? Kate gets in and says Karen Steffes disclosed some of this stuff in her book years ago, but they ignored her.
That's
Hey,
Superhead.
listen, that is her street name.
Just in case the people didn't
Appreciate you
know.
getting in, Dr. Govan. Dr. Govan says, I am still listening to 112. I don't care what y'all say. Let me ask you and Shelby, are you guys still listening to R. Kelly? That's all I don't know. I'm just asking, just a question. He said, I won't stop listening to that first 112 CD. Even the interlude that you you brought up on Shawty's Just My Opinion, even the interlude. And what's funny is after you brought the interlude up, Shelby, I had to go back and listen to it. It is kind of weird, a little different. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Listen, the reason
man, you
why
got to be able to separate the two, man. You know what I'm saying? Because especially once you find out this information afterwards, you got to be able to separate the two, because music, you know what I'm saying, is artistry and it's vibrations and it make you feel a certain kind of way. You got to be able to. I mean, a lot of our geniuses, great people, have always been what they say, to be great is to be misunderstood. You know what I'm saying? And and part of that greatness, you have the same kind of, like to say, people as great as you have the same capacity for destruction, so to speak. And the line blurs a lot. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to say, I'm not trying to rationalize anything like that. But I'm just saying we don't, get rid of a lot of things that inventors and things that people don't create it. Once we find out that they own slaves or they did something bad, you know what I'm saying? We still use the technology. You know what I'm saying?
Big facts. Dr. Govan says she's still listening to R. Kelly, and Shelby says yes. 12 play CD is still in. First of all, you're not listening to CD, you mean Apple Music, but I get what you said. Now, that's my
no,
girl.
she might have the original. I got the original still. I can show it to you.
You might have the original. She said 12 play is still in rotation. Hard to separate. I don't see nothing wrong with the little bump and grind when you know what he did. Ooh. Okay. Well, so Kate, I'm assuming that means that you are not listening to R. Kelly. Since you said
I took that as she was.
She said it's hard to separate, but then she gave us.
She gave a frowny.
She said she gave a frowny face though. She gave it. So
I didn't see the face. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So Lance says I already wasn't playing a lot of Diddy stuff since he wasn't that great of an artist. The other artists and groups on Bad Boy still get to play. He stopped listening to R. Kelly a while back. Now, did you stop listening to R. Kelly just because you was tired of it, Lance? Or did you stop listening to R. Kelly around the time that all the stuff came out? He got, you started thinking, hey, man, he's talking about, age ain't nothing but a number and all this stuff. Lance say I still have all the R. Kelly CDs though, but he don't play them anymore. Okay.
Right. Well, I don't play it. If it randomly comes up, I'm not finna just cut it off because it's R. Kelly. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna say this, Coach. Imagine the gap that it takes out of a DJ's playlist if you got to take out all Bad Boy and R. Kelly. Not saying that it can't be done. I'm just saying that's a big old gap in the playlist.
That's exactly why I posed the question. And Caitlin say no, she does not listen to R. Kelly anymore. So Dr. Gomez say I'm not thinking about R. Kelly when I'm listening to it. You thinking about the actual lyrics, like happy people. Ain't that what one of the that's like a classic, ain't it? It's like
I believe I can fly.
Right.
Man,
it's
don't
like
get on his discography, man.
Listen, and then with R. Kelly, this is more about Diddy, but with Diddy, there's been some rumors coming out about what Diddy had to do, not just what Diddy did to people, what Diddy had to do to get to where he is with a one Clive Owens. So,
Mm-hmm.
what we'll say for the people up under Diddy, we'll say, Diddy forced them to do it. So they end up, victims end up turning into, the criminal after a while, sometimes that mindset happens. We could say the same thing about Diddy, right? I mean, if he had to do what they say Clive Davis made him do, should we be after Clive Davis?
Sometimes, what I'm saying, the pole gets so high you can't climb no higher. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what
Just
happened. I don't mean to jump ship, but with the Epstein list, they claimed they
right.
couldn't show names because the people were so powerful that it would cause harm to them and their families. So that's why they couldn't release the names. So
Mm,
at some point, some people just ain't gonna go down.
mm. That's why they was raiding Diddy house. They trying to get some of these names so he can't be is so we
Mm,
thinking so he can't use that same
right.
mindset. Okay, okay.
It's so.
Clive,
I wonder if the energy even the same. Like the
I'm
Epstein
just
energy versus this energy. You know what I mean? Like this is everywhere all the time. Like I can't turn on nothing
so
without seeing it. And it's just like I never saw this with Epstein.
oh, that's what I was about to ask. So you saying with Epstein didn't get as much coverage as Diddy got, even though he got jail time, he didn't get as much coverage as Diddy, or I would say R. Kelly, because R. Kelly was when it was his time, he was always in the forefront.
And everything was just so vague. Like you just like never really knew no in depth about what was going. You kind of knew had your thoughts, but it's like this right here. I mean, it's almost like everything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? The,
Last said we last said we already knew who Kelly was. He may have kept skating by had to stuck with the dance party stuff, but the Black Panties album opened a can of worms. Okay,
but to
yeah.
look until last point, Coach. Think about this right here. I'm just thinking about kind of what Kate said, and I kind of understand where she may be coming from, especially the field that she works in, right? So, but
Yeah.
like, at what point, like he said, we knew this was going on. So, at what point did we counsel him? We counseled him once he actually got convicted, or
Good
were
question.
we just listening to his music all the way up until then, or it was like, I knew back in the '90s this way he was, so I stopped listening to his music in the '90s.
That's a good question. That's for you, Lance, since you don't listen to Kelly anymore. I got a question for Kate. Kate, you said you can't separate the two. So would it be the same with Diddy if Diddy is convicted of what's going on? Because I mean, when you hear we can't stop, we won't stop, we can't stop, or what is it? We ain't going
Take that, take
nowhere.
that, take that.
Yeah. See, like I you wow, man. Hey, listen. We ain't going nowhere. Canceled him when I walked into a barbershop and saw the video with the 13-year-old. Mm,
So that was a
that's
breaking point.
right. Right,
Got
right,
you.
right. So Walt Disney, the man was riddled in like Walt Disney, but he probably so high. He's probably so high up that nobody's gonna say anything to him. That's Walt Disney. Come on, like you said, that's ESPN, ABC. He hold a lot of people' future in his hands.
So to that point though, like Caitlin had her specific example of when she stopped listening to R. Kelly. So where is it for Diddy? Because I mean, so where would it be like actually a conviction? Because up until this point, he was not counseled until all this just came out, right?
Right. So Caitlin, she got in. She
So are
said
we still listening to his music now?
she say when they
Okay, there she
convict
go.
Puffy, she gonna be out too.
There you go.
Because of what?
There you go.
It involves sex trafficking, involves minors, and I think
Right.
that's where it is. I think that's the thing. It's like while we may care or not care that he slept with other grown men, that's neither here nor there. It's the minors. When the minors come involved, that's when Kate says she out. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was R.
Hmm.
Kelly, whether it was what you call it, Diddy. Bill Cosby's. This wasn't minor stuff, but he was taking advantage of women, and
we losing a lot of great ones, ain't we?
I mean, we losing a lot of great ones. So she says, as an educator, you mess with the kids, I can no longer deal. I can get with that. I can get with that. Shout out to Valiant Thor for getting in. We appreciate you, man. He said any male within 10 feet of P. Diddy or more within 5 minutes is a power bottom. she's getting busted.
Okay. We need a moderator, man.
Shelby, where you? I gotta make she a moderator on Fat Act. I gotta make Shelby a moderator. We appreciate you, Valiant Thor, man. We ain't gotta be so graphic.
That was a valiant Thor comment.
Right. We appreciate you getting in, my God. Though.
You know what? I wanted to say this earlier too, Coach, and it got away from me, man. You know, we was talking about the double standards, and just to Caitlin's point again. Me and Caitlin gotta have a conversation, girl. You be on one sometime. I appreciate it. But to the double standard thing, man, it's like I saw again with this teacher, female teacher, 17-year-old kid, 2-year relationship. They called it misappropriate relationship. She gets no jail time. She gets 4 years probation and just has to register. No jail time. Now you know if that was the other way around. Come on, brother.
Right.
Yeah, I digress. Crazy. I don't want to change the subject.
Right. But we will have another episode on double standards and all that. It's just a topic that can go on forever. But Lance says we also didn't have social media TMZ back in the 90s when you referred to, if we always knew R. Kelly, was doing these things in early 2000s. So it was just what we heard since there was no real proof. So that's why some people may have been like suspicious, but there was no, like Lance said, no social media or nothing like that. So when it finally came out, some people might have said, hey, I can't do R. Kelly no more because there's hardcore proof, because in our society, aren't you supposed to be
when that video came out, that was pretty, I guess you still have an opinion, but I thought it was aura.
Yeah. But did you know from when the video came out, did you know without a shadow of a doubt that girl was underage? All you knew is it was a girl.
I guess you could argue just looking at it. Oh, no, folks, she looked pretty. I mean, her body, she looked very young. Folks.
Okay, I mean, I'll be honest with you.
But like this, to your point, shadow of a doubt. Yeah, I've seen it.
Right.
But I don't know. But just looking at it, if you ask me, I'm gonna definitely say I'm gonna go with the under for sure.
Okay, well, Dr. Govan said, well, he did marry Aaliyah, and there was some forgery going on there with her birth certificate or age or something with the marriage license. Yeah, true. Now, with that said, and that's the thing, man. This Diddy thing, it's like a spider. It's got a lot of legs on it. You know what I'm saying? Because with the Aaliyah situation, if we go there, I mean, Jay-Z was trying to date her too, and all of that. And I mean,
Dame Dash.
Dame Dash, a whole bunch of stuff. Shelby says the young lady in the video kept saying it wasn't her. So, back in the day. So there are some things, again, allegedly, but to Lance's point, going back, with this social media stuff, we get to see a lot more than, a VHS tape where people denying it's them and things of that nature. So it's wild out here, dog. That's all I'm gonna say. And the reason why the whole Diddy,
and to that point, we don't have nothing on perfect with all the technology as of right now.
As of right now, we don't have no hardcore evidence. It's a whole bunch of hearsay, what they call it in court. It's a whole bunch of hearsay. So, and a lot of this stuff, if Puffy, got the correct lawyer, if he is guilty of some of this stuff might not even hit the court if he has a good enough lawyer. So,
it's gonna take years, Coach.
Right. The reason why I asked, I wanted to pose the whole cancellation is because, again, like you said, whether you play Apple Music, Tidal, Spotify, you just got some playlists or whatever, inevitably a Bad Boy song is coming up. I don't know what Bad Boy song, Diddy, whatever Bad Boy song is coming up. And I thought about that because I got Bad Boy on mine and I'm still listening to it. But
And,
again, he's
and Coach, I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. We're gonna kill you. What happened to when you find out you've been listening to this song and then know Puffy produced it? But it went on, you know what I'm saying? It went on Bad Boy, but he produced it. Now, how you feel now? You don't cancel this artist, but you've been listening to it and then realize he produced the track just because it went on Bad Boy. Now he got a lot of that out there too now.
Diddy got his hands in the lot, dog. That's what I'm saying. Diddy has his hands in the lot. So if you are, canceling Diddy, I would ask, right now, the only person that has in our comments anyway, that has said, if guilty, she will cancel Diddy. Does that mean all of Bad Boy, Caitlin? Is that all the Bad Boy or just songs that Diddy is on? Carl and Faith, according, is something that come up. Yeah, Carl Thomas and Faith. All like, listen, man, it's all in the playlist. Diddy, listen, while we always used to, clown and say Diddy make one hit wonders and won't have, he don't, stay with you and help you have a career and all that stuff. He's touched and had a part of a lot in the music industry. And you know what I'm saying? So producing, I ain't gonna say he's songwriting, but whether it be, helping artists get started,
He getting a producer credit.
He getting credit. I mean, again, he had the Diddy camp. While Usher was never on Bad Boy, Usher gave some props to Diddy and and some things like that. And
Justin Bieber gave some props to Diddy.
Well, yeah, Justin Bieber, boy, so scared of Diddy, but yeah.
What I'm saying, it's definitely a lot of music he has that is not under the Bad Boy banner that he produced, though. You know what I'm saying? And
Big
that's
facts.
the tricky thing.
And to your point, same thing with R. Kelly. R. Kelly was a songwriter. He's written songs for a lot of people and produced a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, what we doing? Carl Thomas and Faith still get play. Their only crime was signing bad deals. Hey, and maybe Carl Thomas didn't make it because he chose the path of most resistant and said, like Noriega said, a lot of times in Hollywood and the music industry, they give you, when you start having success, they give you 3 doors. It's like one where you can go straight and be on your own, one where you can do some questionable sexual activities, and then one where they may try to make you believe in some stuff that you don't necessarily believe in. And he chose to go straight. And after that, he never had a platinum record again. So maybe Carl Thomas took that.
And look, Coach,
road.
He sold his shares. He sold his shares in Revolt just recently. But that would have been another thing you had to cut out Revolt TV. You know what I'm saying? Now, do you cut out Revolt TV too? You know what I'm saying? No, you don't have to worry about it now because he sold his shares. But you know what I mean?
Right. Okay, so I definitely have to think about that, but definitely anything his voice is on. I get you. Like, whoo, shake your tail, feather Nelly, you out of there. The old video of Diddy and Bieber was cringy. It was. You could tell visibly that Justin Bieber is afraid of Diddy when Diddy is asking him why they ain't, partied or been hung out is what he's saying, hung out any longer. And he's like looking into the camera for almost like he's looking into the camera of help. That's what I was referring to, JV. JV, you gotta look at. Can you see them comments? That.
Yeah, I see him.
Yeah, I definitely was referring to that.
Which one you talking about in particular?
Carl Thomas. When I say that's probably why he only had the one album. Bieber didn't know yet that you have to tell him no. Yeah, but Bieber also started when he was very young. I mean, where are the adults?
There's a video out there.
What are adults and the parents like Usher mama, Usher Bieber mama? Like, why are y'all letting this dude be like have this much access to your kid, man?
They didn't know that at the time Diddy, which is allegedly, was the diddler. No one knew that. That's what I'm saying. Nobody knew that at the time. You thinking about the success that he has, this guy can put my son on. I ain't saying you pawn your child off. I'm not saying that, but there's a sense in trust because of just because of his statue. You know what I mean? You
Okay,
just don't
I
assume.
I understand that, like where you're letting your kid be with him, like for recording sessions. That's kind of like you sports in practice, right? Coach come pick you up if you ain't, like you said, your mama said you want him to play, and it's all across town. You gotta pay for it. You gotta pay for all this stuff.
Mhm,
That's a couple of
mhm.
hours. We talking about Usher spent time at Diddy camp for some months, like living with Diddy. Like that's
Yeah,
nah, dog. Like nah.
no, I get you.
That's
Everybody's
but
different, man.
that's
Mhm.
without me knowing. That's just some random guy that I know is in the business that's very successful. I'm not letting my son go stay with you, like you
Right.
as a person. Like you ain't holding no, like camp where a team of people are coming. It's just you staying with Diddy, dog. I don't know about that one.
Hey,
So
times were different too. You know what I mean? I'm with you. Times were different
right.
too.
JV say Usher Mama sent him. That's right. It says whether you know or not, you have to
Mhm.
be there. I don't trust anybody with my kid. Shelby said Usher's mom
Okay.
went to New York and got Usher because she saw him in the papers at the club. Again, like you say, I'm glad she went and got him. Why was he there spending overnight, multiple nights with him in the first place?
Come on, listen,
It's
man.
like,
Come on, man. You know how folks used to let their kid go with Michael Jackson.
ooh, look, true. JV said, how many kids actually go live with their coach for a better opportunity?
Right, exactly.
Mm,
He gonna stay with the whole family, pack up and leave.
right,
You
but
know what I'm saying?
that happens. That happens in some
For
cases.
sure. No, a
Yeah.
lot of
Uh,
cases.
yeah.
That's
Hey,
actually a great point. I'm surprised I didn't think of that one.
Diddy ain't never had no family though. Most of these point this. I ain't saying it's always a husband and wife situation with kids where another kid come live with. But the ones I've seen, there was another kid at the house. It wasn't just a man and him by himself, and then that one kid goes to live with that guy. He normally has, and I'm not saying in these situations that it still can't be some abuse, but it's normally the coach has a son or daughter, or it's like, I'm just saying,
You see
dog. Like
that comment
one,
down there?
I'm about to hold on. Let's see.
Bro say
Dr.
I'm gonna
Gomez
make a
said, huh?
pallet call stand too. And to that point, that's what I would think. If you got those kind of resources, I would think if that's the kind of move you're gonna do, is like you would have the parents be like somewhere in the vicinity. Maybe not at the camp necessarily, but they can come in and you know what I'm saying. So, but
Right.
I guess
This
it may
is
be hard to uproot families and I don't know. You know what I mean? That's tough, bro.
Hey, I ain't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know Usher's family tree, so I don't know if he got siblings or not. But it seemed like he was the only child, so his mama could have just been living in New York. Dr. Gomez
So
said,
it's it,
I don't care who the person is or isn't. I'm not letting my kids go with the older men and women that I don't know. They can't go with
so
somebody people that I do.
they're just like we're athletes and we're athletic people. So just speaking on the athletic side, God, I hate to
Right.
use a name like this. So I'm just gonna say for instance, if like I'm about to use a name and realize I don't want to use that name, 'cause I don't want to make no implications. But just say
Right.
somebody like I'm gonna say somebody I don't like necessarily, like Jim Harbaugh. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? He's a well big time coach, just won a national championship. Granted, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? Let's say your kid is 14 and he has an opportunity to, be better in football and be mentored by Jim Harbaugh, get raised by him, go to school with him, you know what I'm saying? And everything. If you of a parent that maybe not from a well off place, you know what I'm saying? Is that not something that you truly consider to let your
No,
son go
because
off
of
with Jim Harbaugh?
something you said. You said if the coach think he good enough, if my son good enough, make it happen. That's what I took from that. Not make it happen like he got to come stay with you. Like you say, hey, it'll be easier if he comes stay with me. It'll be more convenient. It'll be better. If he
Mm,
good enough, make it happen from afar.
make it
You don't
happen.
have to make it
Mm,
happen in your house. Make it happen from afar. You, Jim Harbaugh, in this
right,
scenario, you
right.
got all these resources. If you need him to come to a camp in the summer, you know, pay for our hotel
Yeah.
when we come up there. You know what I'm saying? Like, or whatever it is. It's like, nah, make it happen.
It's hard to get around it. It's hard to get around it.
Yeah,
I'm with
right.
you. I'm with you.
Make it happen. And JV say Diddy a hit maker though. You can see the stars because he raises and lowers the sun. Hey. And I guess it's
I see it for both sides, but to that point, when you're talking about a child, I don't know for like I got to be there too. Like I'm, like my folks say, I'm getting a pallet or whatever we need to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We can split the cost. I don't know.
Right.
Something.
And I'm not saying any of this stuff that he's alleged of doing to any of these guys, especially the grown-ups, is right either. The grown-ups, you had a little bit more of a choice. Now you wanted this so bad, you felt like you had to do this. Now, if you was getting drugged at these Diddy parties and recorded after you didn't know what you was doing, that's different. But a lot of these people that's starting to come out now, along with all of these allegations about some guy tried me or offered me this, it's about how bad you want it. So at the end of the day, for that, whatever. But for the kids, how you I don't know.
What if it's prime time? What if prime time as your son come to stay with him?
Hey, it sound like you can afford for
to
me and my
better
wife
his career, and he's
sound like you can afford for me and my wife to come too. It's like, no.
I got you.
Again,
that well met.
Hey, listen, this is where I'm at. You prime. From what I see, you can make in the sports world, you can make it all happen. So he ain't got to come to Colorado before it's time for him to play at Colorado. You should be prime. Make it happen. You got all this pull. Call somebody here that knows somebody here to get him the necessary tools. But if you got to fly him out and he got to stay for the summer, then it sounds like we all coming. We getting a nice trip to Boulder.
Yeah. and to JB point, I think we saying the same thing, bro. Like, I don't think any of us would do it, but we can also see why, some other people may have done that. So I think we're saying the same thing for sure.
He said, I'm saying they was probably their outlook, not saying I'm sending my kids.
Why they did it.
Yeah. I definitely know of situations where people sent the guy,
for sure.
I sometimes, and I'm not saying they knew the coach like a best friend, but I don't know.
And what, coach?
I just wonder, like in Usher's situation.
It didn't have to be months. Think about the Sandusky case.
Well, those were players that were at the university. True. I'm not saying that it has to be that situation, but
you know what
I'm saying? I'm saying like in the Sandusky case, you're at a university where you're not staying with Sandusky. He has
what I was getting at is well, no, I wasn't even talking about the Penn State. I don't know if you realize in the Sandusky case, he was like a he was known as a coach, and he used to have kids from camps come stay at his house all the time when they came in for camps. I wasn't even talking about I wasn't even talking about the actual Penn State part. But yeah, he's all throughout his life, that was part of where his wife testified to, kids, he used to have kids come over for camp all the time. Stay for like a night, 2 nights, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. I was just saying to the point, sometimes it may not have to be months to be victimized.
True. Yeah, it ain't got to be months to be victimized. I'm just the whole the whole allowing your child solo to be with a grown adult solo for an extended period of time. Like when you get sent as a team and that's the only adult there and he's taking advantage of some of the people. I'm not saying that you could or could not stop it. I'm just saying that's a different situation. But to knowingly, like how good did Usher's mama know Diddy before she sent Usher there? Like how good? Like this ain't a coach that you know what I'm saying, that you was on the sheriff and like
and to Dr. Govan point, she's saying that she's not letting the parents off the hook, that they should be charged too. So I mean, what you charging with? Neglect? I mean, like what kind of you're sending them into a situation to what you think that we all think that's going to be bettering their chances at life with a person that generally has more resources to you. So I'm just saying, just on the surface,
So
You know what I'm saying?
with Usher being underage during the Diddy camp and some things allegedly happened there, if they could prove that, should Usher's mom be charged in that situation? Is that what
Yeah,
you're saying?
I think that's kind of what I think that's what she's saying. Like, yeah, and I'm just saying, like, what do
Mhm.
you charge a parent with that trying to give their child a better opportunity? I mean, what is it? Neglect?
That's what
I
she
mean, I don't
said.
know how much research. Okay,
That's what Shelby
yeah.
said. Child neglect. Child neglect. Child endangerment. Caitlin Hill said. Child endangerment.
Well, you can do your research. These people who we talking about don't even have records on the surface. These are people that doing stuff behind closed doors, and you don't know about. We just happen to know about because it don't happen.
Mm.
But before we have this information, you don't know we dealing with demons. You can do your
Mm.
research. These are law-abiding, tax-paying citizens that, for what we know, are doing good and right by people for the
Mm.
most part.
Until you find out. Right. You're
Right.
right. And
So
like
you know, to do.
JV brought up, with the coaches, like he brought up the USA gymnastics coach. I mean, that was a big thing. Again, and just a
Mhm.
sidebar to Thad's point earlier in the show, that didn't get as much coverage as the Diddy stuff is getting, and he was found guilty of that stuff. So it's like, we can go on about that. Why Diddy's getting so
And maybe
much,
he was not as high
attention.
profile either.
That's
I don't
true.
think he probably
That's
was
true.
high as
The
profile. You know,
Olympics are high profile, but the coach himself, unless you're
right,
in the gymnastics world, isn't as
right.
known as a Diddy. Everybody know Diddy. Everybody know Diddy. Everybody know R. Kelly.
And
And
you,
and to that point, that couldn't you say that about Epstein? Because I mean, honestly, did you like? I don't know what all Epstein does. I just remember hearing his
but
name, and he's a big
but
person
I
in that.
think he had higher profile clients. That's what made his thing so huge. His client list was so high profile. It was like we didn't even really care know about Epstein. It was about who was on the list.
Okay. But in the USA gymnastics coach, I mean, we talking about some of the biggest names in gymnastics. I mean, we ain't all been under
Yeah,
no rock. Right?
yeah, but yeah, they're just like biggest gymnast you want to say it is, but you can't name people couldn't name who on the gymnastic team. You know what I'm saying? Just being real talk. But some of these folks who we talking about on Epstein list, you see every day, all day, and people who you would not think that. You know what I mean? Once again, you don't know what folk got going on.
Right.
Like
JB said it
we
did.
talking about former president, folks. It don't get no bigger than that.
Big facts. JB said did. The USA coach got a ton of coverage. Hey, that's my hey, listen. Like that asked me had I listen. I had to watch some Diddy stuff today before to get ready for the show. To be honest, I heard about a lot of stuff. And I'm gonna tell you, to your point that when we was talking off camera, you said it's just all over YouTube. It is, but I like a lot of times when I get on, I'm looking for sports stuff. So if I see some Diddy stuff, I know that that's a rabbit hole that I'm probably gonna go down if I start that first video. So sometimes I just don't start the video. So while I might see the video thumbnail, I just don't watch it because I'm there to watch something. I've been watching a lot of sports though. That's just what I've been doing. So today I chose to watch some of the stuff. Uncle Luke had a lot of good stuff or not good stuff, but interesting things to say on this whole situation. He says that he thinks Diddy can recover, but Kanye can't with the stuff that's going on with Kanye. Kanye ain't got no allegations, but he done talked about, religion and stuff like that, and then politics. And he said if Diddy
But
can
Kanye
not get
saying that
charged,
Kanye ain't dealing with no charges though. No, he ain't dealing with no crime, no criminal charges.
right?
Like
What
did it no
Uncle
matter what happens with this, he can't he ain't nobody gonna
that ain't
never really his
ain't
life ain't gonna never be the same. Period.
hey that ain't what Uncle
They
that
finna
ain't what Luke
if
say.
he get away, coach. If he
That ain't
get
what
away,
Luke
they
say.
finna exhaust damn near every resource he have.
That ain't what Luke say. Luke said if he ain't found guilty of nothing, he got enough friends and people that cool with him in the business that he can recover. Whereas because Kanye ain't got no charges again. They was just talking about careers recovering. He was talking with Stephen A. Smith. So he was just talking about careers recovering. And he said that Diddy's career possibly more so than Kanye could recover because of the stuff that Kanye is talking about. And I mean, it kind of goes to like, I mean, you sweep stuff under the rug. I mean, that's what some of these powerful people do, dog.
Well, I think they go hand in hand, coach. I think what he said and did his point goes hand in hand. If he get away, it's gonna be because of the powerful people he know as well. You see what I'm
true. Which
saying? So that's
right,
why
and
he would be able to recover. I can see it to
right,
that
and
point.
he was saying that Kanye has done some things that those powerful people don't play with. Like you can't play with their politics because that's how they control and a lot of stuff, and you can't play with they whatever the
Right.
religion aspect of it. And he was like, so it's crazy that that's where they draw the line.
Yeah.
not,
Yeah,
not,
I
not,
rather be in
not.
Kanye's situation any day.
I personally would, but I'm just, we all know Hollywood is a weird place. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
mean,
Hollywood.
Hollywood, right? So it seems like on the basis of are we canceling Diddy, still listening to Diddy / Bad Boy, unless you just don't like Diddy music before all this was, at the forefront. It sounds like only a couple of people are canceling Diddy if it comes out. The majority of the viewers, I'm not gonna say the world, but the majority of the viewers are still rocking Diddy if Diddy comes up in the playlist because they can separate the two because it's music and then there's the person, right, Shawty?
Yeah, man. I think it's just like once again, it makes it hard once this has been ingrained in you, and you just now finding out something. It'd be different if we knew this, and then he tried to put out music. Be like, I'm not buying this sex offenders music. You see what I'm
Right,
saying? But the fact
right.
that you've been listening to this stuff for 15 and 20 years, and it's so much ingrained, that was to the point where I tried to make the analogy about Disney and ABC and
Mm-hmm. True.
ESPN, and the same thing with Puffy don't produce so much music you don't know about that's just not under the Bad Boy print. And it's like, if you're going to be true to it like that, I mean, you got to damn near do some more research yourself then to find out all the stuff that these people put out so you can truly counsel him and don't be and use ignorance of the law as an excuse. Be like, well, I didn't know it didn't have Bad Boy on it. I didn't know it. That's why I was listening to it. But if you that serious and you feel that way about it, I mean, I think you should go and research what these people have done and counsel everything that they got their imprint on. You know what I'm saying?
Right, which is what goes back to why I posed it as a Diddy / Bad Boy music and not just Diddy. Because I knew if I said,
Mm-hmm.
"Are you cancel? Are you not listening to Diddy?" Diddy ain't got a lot of hits that he made. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that
Mm-hmm.
he himself has rapped on. There are some, but like more stuff that he's, like you said, touched, produced. Whatever is on Bad Boy, whether it's on Bad Boy or not, he's had his hand in a lot of Mariah Carey stuff.
Yeah,
Or
what's my girl
whatever.
Keisha Cole? I think he got a lot of hand in Keisha Cole stuff. It ain't on the Bad Boy. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? So I'm
right.
saying like you got if you feel that way, then you got to be true to yourself and go research. It's like if you're gonna go be vegan, you can't be talking about I'm gonna eat a little chicken or something. You know what I mean? You got to cut it all out. If that's how you claiming you standing, you know what I'm saying? Like
That's
how you gonna say I don't listen to Puff Daddy music no more, but he got this song over here that he did with For Real, it ain't on the Bad Boy, and you playing that in the background. I'm like, oh, Puffy made that. Oh, I didn't know that. So now I can't. You might we're gonna cut the shit off then. Go and cut it off right now. Go and spin it to the next track.
well, listen, man. With R. Kelly and Diddy, if you're not listening to both of their stuff, pick different genres. Okay, that's the only way to be safe. Pick
It's a
some
hard
different.
gap. That's a big gap, coach.
But it is. That's what I'm saying. Because again, went back to R. Kelly. R. Kelly has written a lot of
That's what I'm
songs for
saying.
people.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
if we don't want to celebrate the talent because of what they did in their, non-music life or non-artist life, whatever, it's you definitely have to look at it. Again, I am still playing Bad
Well,
Boy.
you know what, coach? Let me ask you this, and to that point though, because I'm being very analytical here. So to that point though, I guess some people can have a distinction between, hey, if he's not physically on it, that's where they draw the line. If he maybe
Okay.
written it or wrote it or hip, maybe that may be where they draw the line. If he ain't
Well,
physically on it, you know what I'm saying?
Well, let me give you the other side of that. With all these allegations coming out and how he's gotten some of these people to do some of these things, you listen to a song that he produced. What do you think went into the producer? Like, you think he was always nice to 112? I mean, I don't know what was happening in the studios with 112.
No, I'm sure not. I
That's
mean,
what I'm saying. So
like I
that's
said,
why I'm saying
I'm of
he
the
ain't on
mind.
all they songs, but hey,
Right.
they making people walk to the Cheesecake Factory and do other stuff. Apparently, we didn't get all of that, even though it was recorded. You know, we was watching those episodes on
So
Making the Band and stuff.
So I'm gonna say this, and I know we're about to get out of here, but and I might talk about this on my show. And I think I did a little bit. That's just like I'm gonna use my universe. I can't say my universe. I went there, but I guess I can say graduate from there. That's just like, and I think I mentioned this to you offline. Like if UGA, and it's totally different subject, but I'm
Okay.
talking about this to make a point of branding and how
Okay.
you cut
Okay.
off a brand. So that's just
Right.
like if UGA were to cut the funding and state funding and federal funding for diversity programs, I would really feel some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Like, how strongly do I feel about it? Because if they did that, and I'm a minority. Like, do I cut off now UGA as strongly as I'm a tied to UGA? And I know that was a very detrimental thing. It's not. We're not talking about sex crimes now. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking
We're
about
talking
sex.
about
But this
cutting
is a more on a
diversity. Yeah.
right. You know what I'm saying? So how you know what I'm saying? So to say that I would cut the university off, that would be saying a lot. But I
Well,
guess that's what happens when you take a stand too, though, right?
right. So, hey man, y'all make sure y'all tune in next Sunday night.
It's-
We're gonna talk about diversity funding being cut off at public universities and colleges and what that means for you and how you feel about it. Like Shawty say, you'll feel some kind of way. I'm pretty sure we all will feel some kind of way, but how deep would those feelings go? Be thinking about that and tune in next week, man, to two sides with Shawty and Coach I. Before we get out of here, Shawty, you got anything for the people? Let them know what you got going on and anything like that.
Oh no, man! You know, shout out to everybody in the comments, man. We appreciate the back and forth. We appreciate the conversation. It helps, so it helps us all get better. I definitely appreciate that. You can find me on Tuesday nights at 9:30. No, is it Wednesday nights? Wednesday nights at
Wednesday.
9:30. Just my damn. I've been on so many shows now, Coach. Just my damn opinion. Myself and the crew, AP, Rod, the first lady who's on here, and sometimes KJ. Catch us on Wednesday nights 9:30. Just my damn opinion, man. YouTube.
That's right, man. Y'all make sure to check out the Fanatic Sports Network where you can get your basketball or football fix. And also April the 6th, if you are in the state of Georgia and just want to head to Athens, most of the Respect the Hedges crew will be at Creature Comfort celebrating. I want to say it's their 10-year anniversary. So a lot of the fellows will be out there, and some of the ladies from Respect the Hedges celebrating with the Creature Comfort folk for their 10-year anniversary. With that said, man, we appreciate everybody tuning in from Facebook, from YouTube. If you on Facebook, hit the like button, man, and that helps more people see it even if they didn't get a chance to see it live. If you're on YouTube, do the same thing. Try to get the content out to more people, man. With that said, and subscribe to the channel. With that said, man, it's 2 sides with Shawty and Coach I. It's always 2 sides.